Industrial Spur. I want to just take you through a mini op session today. I got the real op session tomorrow, and this is something that I wanted to do is to just go through an op session um, real quick. I've already got the train stage and everything, but I kind of want to redo it for the real session tomorrow because I think I need to tweak some of the cars a little bit with the Jammer Ops program. So I thought I would try a YouTube live video to show everybody how this works. One drawback of in the Facebook live videos, even though I really like the interaction that I get, is that the video quality isn't quite as good. So I'm hoping that the video quality is a little bit better with this one. So we'll see. And I call it a mini session because I don't plan to do a full session today. We'll probably just work on switching South Omaha here, and we'll see how far we get. Because I kind of want to wrap this up in about an hour so I can regenerate the work orders and get ready for the real session tomorrow. But one advantage of having a small switching layout is that it's really super easy to get ready for the next stop session, so shouldn't be an issue. Before we get started, I'll just take you through the South Omaha Industrial Spur real quick. So we've got our South Omaha yard right here. This is where we'll start from with the locomotives and the freight cars. And then we got South Omaha over here, and this is the rest of the layout back there. Way in the back is the Bellevue Industrial Park, and we got the Papillion area here. And I'm working on the Lazier customer building right here. You can see that it's kind of a work in progress. I've got kind of the main structure up and got some details and scenery left to go. So that's the paint and glue is still drying on that. So looks like I already got some comments. So I'll go through those here in a little bit. One thing I want to point out is I just bought some new Luxes today. I'm adding something different that I'm doing in this session I haven't done before, and that is I'm having lock boxes not only for customer instructions like I did before, but just for opening gates. And so like this is one of the new ones that's just going to be for opening gates. It won't have any instructions on it. And then over here, the flat ones will have the instructions on it. For the mini session today, I didn't put the instructions in it because I know where I want the cars to go. But for the crew tomorrow, I'll have their instructions in these. And there's only two industries that have instructions. One is Miller Refrigerated, and then Standard Distribution way down there in the Bellevue Industrial Park. So that's something new that I wanted to point out too. And so there's 6 total, and I give the crew 3 different keys because there's 2 keys for each one. Oh, sorry about that. That was my okay. There we go. My camera holder is going a little crazy here. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let me see what questions I've got so far. Let's see if I can bring those up. What is going on with this thing? Let me see if I can tighten my mount a little bit on my tripod. A little bit better. Okay, I don't know if that'll work better or not. We'll see. Okay, so chat viewing options. I can't see how to view the comments. Oh, here they are. Okay. So Lee's on. Thanks, Lee. I don't use cart cards. I use work orders. I'll show you how that works. And IMRRO Com says hello. And Lee says he wants to see the drawers for my cars. I'll show you those. Are right here. This is where I store my freight cars. I designed this for my original layout, which is like twice the size. So I've got a little extra room now. But basically, these are ones that I built myself with a friend who's really good at woodworking. And I use these little A-line inserts to divide the cars that usually go in those A-line boxes. So they work pretty good. But yeah, it's just a nice little system. It's right here at the yard, so it's easy to move the cars back and forth. Taylor says, "Hey buddy, just want to say your layout looks awesome. Went to visit your layout." Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, if you're ever in the Denver area, just give me a shout out. You can send me an email by going to spsfrailway.com and just click the link there to email me. So, all right, without further ado, we'll get started here. I'm going to turn on the layout, and I'm just going to use the standard NCE Cabo 6R throttle there. I like the one with the potentiometer, I think is how it's pronounced. That ends there, so we'll use that one. and I'll get the work order. So I use, like I said, I use JMRI Ops, and this is what the work order looks like. I've got an example that you can download on my website as well. And so this is what we'll be going through today. I also give the crew a job description. I just changed this a little bit. So I'm going to recycle that and get the other one that I printed out for the crew tomorrow. But anyways, I hope I know how this job works, so I don't think I need that for myself. but the work order basically tells you the work at each location. This is something else that I want to change because I was doing it like with my old layout by direction, but now I want to set it up by location. So you'll notice on this one, South Omaha has for the Spurs facing one way, and then it's got another little small section for South Omaha for the Spur facing another direction. I just want to group them into locations so that way the crew can decide what order they want to switch stuff in. So that's another change I'm going to make in JMRI. Really simple to do, so it'll only take a few minutes to change this and make it a little bit better for the crew tomorrow. So I've already went through the cars here. This is what I usually do before a session is I make sure all these cars are in the yard, and I usually block them by location. So today we've got the cars on this closest track are all the ones for South Omaha. These are the ones for Bellevue Papillion. So we'll focus on these cars for right now, and then we'll do all this work. All right, so first thing we need to do is call up our locomotives, and it's address 1, really easy. So just hit 1 and enter. Takes a few seconds, and then turn the lights on. And I'll head up. Since I'm in a bit of a hurry, I might kind of speed up through some of the processes. I always encourage the crew when they're working to take their time, so just a heads up that I might be a little faster than I usually am. And I might forget to do some things, like I just forgot to whistle for that crossing. And should use the bell in the yard. Whoops. There you go. It'll help if I change directions. Speeding through things, you make some mistakes. So, okay. Now let's see. What do we want to do first? So, the one advantage of switching South Omaha is it's really close to the yard, so we probably don't need to bring all the cars with us if we don't want to. But I think I will. I think I'll just go ahead and drag out all these cars because we got the siding that we can use as a runaround track there. So. Do a brake test, change directions, and let's test the connections. Okay, that looks good. So we'll keep going. Now this time I'll go for the crossing. And I quickly want to get this going this way. Okay. So I think what I'll do first is we'll go ahead and switch this customer that's right over here. This is Omaha paper stock. And on our work order we've got, let's see, Omaha paper stock doesn't get any pulls. Actually, let's see, Omaha paper stock doesn't do anything today. We just have to leave cars that are going to it eventually, but they go to the off spot. You see, there's a lot of off spots here today. That is something else I might change with JMRI is reduce the size of the off spot here a little bit because it went a little crazy this go around with the off spot. Okay, so with no work there, let's move to the next industry. Let's work the grain elevator. Oh, here's Schooler Grain. Alright, and I'm imagining those 2 grain cars there. These 2 cars are going to school. And we're probably going to pull some cars. Yep. So we got to pull these 3 cars from Schooler. So let's see. Move up a little bit more. Now, Spur also has its own switcher. Um, it's an old Rock Island switcher, Lucky Sevens. So if we need help with that, we can use that. In the op sessions, the Schooler switcher is the locomotive that I'll use to help the crew if they need it. Set the brakes. Let's push these cars. Now notice I stopped just short of this. What is that called? The car marker, so that I know that I'll be out of the way of the cars there. There we go. Okay. So let's figure out where these cars are. So SPSF 361908. It's got to be that one. Yep. SPSF 469311 is that one. And oh, that's it. Okay. So we got to pull that one and that one. So let's do that first. Let's see. I'll go ahead and alright, can you see what I'm doing here? So there's the Schooler switcher right there, Lucky Sevens. And go back and grab, let's go back and grab the red car first. Disconnect it from back there first. Oh, it was uncoupled. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'll show you there. So I'm grabbing this red car, and then yeah, I spot those two covered hoppers here. So we'll do that after we shove these cars onto our train. A slight grade. I'm going to use this yellow rail chock. So hold up that car. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I put the yellow rail chock there so that car doesn't slide. I've got an awful grade back there in that one spot. So, okay, so that car in the end, we're going to go ahead and shove it onto our train. I realized I violated another rule on my way out here. Like I said, when I'm in a hurry, I don't do the best work. I forgot to stop at the Washington Street crossing and change the signal there for rail traffic. Okay, we'll make a connection there. Now we're going to push this car back a little bit. Now notice one thing I am trying to look out for is to make sure I'm not going to block this crossing here. I should have enough room to get that car behind the car marking without having to block the grade crossing. Otherwise I'd set up the signal for me. Okay. Now we'll throw these 2 cars back to the grain elevator since they still want them. Okay, I'm going to stop the train here, throw these 2 cars there, and back up. This red car goes with my train, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back now. This time I probably will block the crossing. So these are the 2 locomotives that I plan to use in the op session tomorrow. So I might as well give them some practice. This is my favorite consist, the B23-7 front one there, and the Jeep 39-2, and they're both upgraded with LEDs and ditch lights. Okay, I'm going to give this a shove. Let's see how close we get to the street. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'll show you how close we are. We'll go ahead and conductor will walk back here and move that. We're just going to occupy it for a few minutes here, so we'll just go ahead and block it completely. We won't cut the car yet because we don't need that much time. Otherwise, we'd cut the car and let the traffic go again. And then now we'll release these 2 cars to the grain elevator. Okay. I usually don't run through cars like that, but again, I'm trying to hurry a little bit more today than normal. Alright, so now we'll drop that car off there. So just and release the brake on that car. And then we'll put that that black Rock Island lease car. That's a fantasy car that I did a few years back. We'll put that on the other track. A closer look there, the grain elevator. So we dropped off that silk car. We're dropping off this car. Okay, now let's see if this car has to go to Sutherland's, that bulkhead flat car. The other thing we do is go ahead and check all these things off. So we pulled those cars. We want to pull a car from Sutherland's, and that 88, no, that's 88459. So I need an 88356. Oh, you know what I think I did? I think I put the wrong flat car on here. Oh well, I got the wrong cotton belt car. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and say that one. So anyways, that car goes to Sutherland's, and then we need to pull 461043, which just happens to be a car in the front, so that's good. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm going to pull that car at Sutherland's and place that one. We'll do that next, and we place those at Schooler. And then after that, all we have to do is ready mix. Place a car there. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll work Sutherland's next. Oh, okay, switch that over. Back up so you can see what we're doing here. I forgot to put blue flags at schoolers, so I have to do that. So one of the things that is required on my industrial spur is to talk to the industry foreman before moving these blue flags. So we would have a conversation with the industry foreman before doing that. On op sessions, I'm the industry foreman, so the crew just has to talk to me. Luckily, there's no car spotted here, so we can come back and grab this car. Okay, okay. So now, Lisa said she put the camera tomorrow so you can see the op session. Yeah, I was gonna plan to do. I think what I might do is do a little half and half, like part of the op session on the Facebook Live and part of it here on YouTube. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. The op session is gonna start or the doors open at 2:00 p.m. Mountain Time. So roughly from 2 to 4 we'll be running. So I'll try to do a couple videos of that for you. Whoa. Okay. That went a little too far. All right. So there, we got that car out. Now we're gonna. Now, one thing I could do is it could be nice to the next crew and switch the cars so that they have the. So this one goes behind because most likely it'll be taken out afterwards. But I'll just go ahead and leave it here. Okay. So that's past the switch. There we go. The one thing I want to mention that I didn't mention before, my op sessions are always run with a conductor and an engineer for this job. As you can see, it's a little hard to do both the throttle and the clipboard at the same time. So it really works out better with a crew of two, especially for folks that aren't as familiar with the layout. I'll just drop this guy here. But one thing I do have in the layout that I'll show you is these those sky hooks up there. I don't know if you can see that. A little spot to hang the clipboard. So even with a single conductor job, you have a spot to rest your clipboard at. Okay, I'm gonna put this blue flag back and change directions. Slow down before we shove into that car. Okay. Oh, Lee likes the skyhook idea. Great. Yeah, go for it. Use it. Whoops, I should say my conductor forgot to throw the switch here. So I started going back to the green elevator. Okay, now I'll go back, connect to our train. Uh-oh. Put it on the rail. Okay. We're going to keep moving back so I can get off that track. Alright, now before that turnout, I'm going to put this blue flag back for Millard refrigerated here. And we're going to go switch ready mixed. So let's make sure we got our turnouts lined up for that. We're going to throw the one on the main line down there, and I'm going to throw this one right now. Actually, no. I'm going to push my train back on the main there. Or what I could do is this. I'm going to leave all these cars here. Right, yes, that's what I'll do. Okay, I'll leave all these cars here because I think these are the off-spot cars. This is part of the fun of switching, is deciding what order you're going to do things in and how to move the cars. I'm not sure why I stopped here. What's okay? Oh, I know what it is. I have a turnout that's really close to the siding there, and I need to switch it to the other side of the switch. A ground throw, I mean. I don't know why I put it there. I need to do a little bit of work on the grain elevator because there's a couple more feeder wires. After testing it with the switcher, there's some dead areas. So when I work on that, I'll move the ground throw to the other side of the switch as well. Okay, we're gonna, let's see, where do we want to drop our cars? Let's just drop them right here. So let's take a look at our list. These are all the cars that go to off spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I know. I've got the Cryotrans car goes to Millard refrigerated. So this car on the end will pull and move to Millard refrigerated later. Let's see, what are we gonna have to do? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. But these other cars, so from this car here all the way back, they get left to off spot. Like I said, that's a little too more than I like to. So I'm gonna reduce the size of the off spot location a little bit. And this car here, the cement car, goes to ready mix. So we'll cut that there and just pull ahead with those cars. All right, so we're going to get on the main line there and pull forward of the switch. It's high ball. I've already thrown the switch up there, so I know we're good. And we'll stop and let the momentum, see how far the momentum takes us. Oh, not far enough. Okay. Move a little bit more. Okay. Throw the switch. And we're good. So all I have to do is drop that car off. So I'm just going to come right into the plant here and set the switch. Now this is one of those locations that has a gate. And you know this by looking at the diagram. It says gate. Also you can tell by this, there's ready mixed on it. So again, this is like drawing, but we can still, even though I don't have the key because the paint, I paint these so that the keys match the locks, because I'm getting locks that match one key. I have 2 locks that share the same key, which I think is kind of nice, because then the conductors have to carry a few different keys around. So I think it's a little more realistic that way, and it's also cheaper because I can just pick these up at the hardware store. But anyway, so yeah, I paint them different colors so they're still drying, but hopefully dry for the op session tomorrow. Okay, so instruction. And go forward. Let's see, Lee asked what I'm using for locking it up. It's basically just an outlet cover that you can get up at a hardware store. It's an outlet cover that has a little opening for a lock. So that's all it is. And then I just buy a small lock. So I should probably have my bell on. they're only like $3 or $4 at a hardware store, so it works. All right, so you can see we're coming into the industry here. Now this industry has its own trackmobile, so we don't really care about a car spot. We'll just throw it here, and we can move it later. All right, let's put the car there. Change direction. Get out of the switch. Now let me see. Set our brakes. Now let's check the work that we've got done so far, because I didn't check off the Sutherland's work. So we pulled that car from Sutherland's. We placed that car at Sutherland's. We placed that at Ready Mix. And let's see. We placed these cars at Off Spot. So we're done. Now, this is the thing that I mentioned I want to change. We have this work at Millard Refrigerated that is part of South Omaha. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it done right now. So we want to pull that Powder River and Chugwater car, and we want to place that Cryotrans reefer. And I'm going to throw this on the skyhook. Okay? With the pencil. Okay, so this will be easy. So let's get our conductor to throw the switch. We'll lock the gate. Eventually I'm going to have physical gates, but I just use a piece of cardboard for now. And then we lock it. Now let's go backwards. We're going to do a couple things here. We're going to throw these 3 cars back in the yard. But then we're going to switch the other location. Eyeball. Now our conductor starts walking to Washington's route because we're going to need authority to cross this crossing. Let's slow down for the crossing. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and switch it to rail traffic. Alright, so we're going to leave these cars at the same spot in the yard that we got all the other cars from. So we're already lined up for that. The other thing that I should have done was, if I was a conductor, I need to flag this crossing to reverse shove through it. Let's go ahead and break this connection. Because I can't uncouple it under the bridge, and then we'll just leave it there. Change direction. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to grab this Cryotrans reefer. Oh, we never did. I should have taken the time to switch that back to the street traffic, but since it's still on rail traffic, we'll just leave it alone. Okay. We'll go ahead and break the connection. I'm going to guide the coupler with my tool here. Okay. Go for that crossing again. Alright. Now we've got the car on the right side to switch Miller. And since we've got our off-spot cars setting on the siding over here, we're going to come through on the main just to make things a little easier. Switch it back to auto traffic. I forgot to whistle for that crossing. Okay. So the correct procedure for this crossing is to come to a full stop. The conductor changes it to rail traffic. And then two shorts, two longs, a short and a long. And there we go. There we go through. Seems like one of my engines cut off there for a second. Okay. And then after we go through, come to a complete stop and throw it back to the street traffic. Okay. Okay, now we're going to come switch this industry. Go a little fast through here. Get a little closer so you can see. Okay, now we're going to meet up with the car on the siding there. We'll have to shove them back a little bit so we can get into the switch here. That won't be a problem. So you can see that centering flat car we're going to come up to and give it a shove. Like I said, I try not to just plow through the cars. We shouldn't get anywhere close to the street on the other side. We look good, so we don't have to worry about that. We're already out of turnout. I will go ahead and shove into Miller Refrigerated. And again, we'll ask the foreman, hey, can we take your car? Should say yes. So we'll move the blue flag, or have the foreman move it, I should say. I always instruct the crews that I move the blue flags, not them. So since the foreman sets the flags, the person will remove it. So we're going to pull the Powder River and Chugwater car out first. A little faster. There we go. We'll set the Powder River and Chugwater car over here, and then we'll go back and set out the cryo trains. Now, normally I would have an instruction in here that says, which door to spot it at, and then you look at the diagram. I'm just going to put it back at door C, since that seems to work pretty well. Okay, here we're going to run into our cars again, because now we've got an extra car that has to go past the switch. We don't want to make a connection this time, so I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, we'll We're still good with the street crossing there. Oh, went a little far. I didn't have to go that far. I got carried away. So we'll cut this car here. Oops, sorry about that. Not used to a tripod in the aisle. So I've been live for a little over 40 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it after we do this movement and do what I call an 050 for the rest of the job so that I'm ready for the op session tomorrow. So here at Millard, I've got a kind of mock-up of what I want the industry to look like eventually with the doors there. It kind of helps the crews at this point figure out how to space the cars. I'm thinking of using these Great West pre-stressed concrete walls for it. Oops. We went a little too far. But this way you can line up the car with the door. So I'll make sure the doors are lined up there. Go ahead and break the connection here. Oh. Get out of here, we'll tell the foreman we're done, and so then he'll replace the blue flag. Now let's see. I'm trying to figure out. I would like to get on the other side of this car. How do I do that? So I got my running around track occupied by all those off-spot cars. There's on that side of the truck. I'm going to do a flying switch. Here's what I can do, maybe. Okay, let's just go ahead and so what I'm going to do is when we got this card back here past the switch, I'll show you. I'm going to run around and then grab with my off-spot cars, I'm going to grab it and pull it back and then come back around and get it. It'll be a bit of a painful move, but I'll show you why it works. So I have momentum built in my engines, but as you can see, I don't have too much. You can usually stop within a 1 car distance. So I'm going to leave this car here. Throw the switch, and we'll be coming back that way. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. First, I'm eyeballing with these locomotives. And I'm going to run around the entire siding. Have our conductor come down Stop our train. Let the conductor. Whoa. Didn't stop it in time. Okay. Oh. There we go. Well, we're going to leave it on rail traffic since we're going to be right back. Remember that crossing. So we didn't have to stop that time since it was already set. And then we're going to both stop here to connect to these cars. And let the conductor, actually, gonna push these cars in a little bit. We'll stop just past the crossing, let the conductor back on. Alright, switch it back to the auto traffic. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and push this train all the way back around and get our car. There's our car back there. Set this back to the main. Now we're going to bring our off-spot cars back into the siding. I'm first going to drop this car off here. Okay. And then now we'll be able to put our locomotives on the right side of the car that we want. Okay, so here we are back with our train. Slow down, stop for the crossing this time. Okay. Conductor throws that for the rail traffic. We'll leave it for the rail traffic again. Okay, now we're ready to go get our other car. Stop past the crossing, we'll switch it back to auto traffic. Get our conductor. And now we'll highball back. Again, I usually don't go this fast, but I just kind of want to hurry up here. So I got other things to do. All right, so you'll see there's the car. We're going to get on to the other side of it. Now we can shove this back to the yard. There. Okay, we connected there. Went a little too fast. Okay. Okay, we got to stop here, switch the crossing. This time we're going to flag this crossing. Switch this one back. Okay, now we'll get back into the yard here. And like last time, I'm going to uncouple this car so that I can break away with the locomotives. Well, the good thing is that this gave it a really good test for the op session tomorrow, so I've got that figured out. And yeah, the locomotives were great. Didn't have any derailment issues, so that's good. Yeah, pretty much ready to go. Oops, forgot that crossing. Okay, so I'll put the locomotives back in their spot here at the yard. Put the flags out. Alright, so that's it. That's pretty much how a session runs. And so like I said, the only other part that I would do is I would switch the Bellevue and Papillion locations with these cars back here. Now another thing that I noticed is that I had a little bit more cars than I would like to have in the yard. I'm going to reduce the number of switching movements overall as well, which will also lower the amount of work for the crew so that they can focus on the cars and not do things like I was doing, like racing to get things done. So that'll be good. Let's real quick check our work order here. So, oops. Okay, so we pulled that car and we spotted that car. And so then the rest of the work is basically, this at Papillion and this at Bellevue that we'd have to do. So I'll just do this by hand real quick, make sure the car's in the right locations. And then I'm also going to adjust it because I don't have enough cars at the standard distribution. I want to add a few more box cars over there. But anyways, then all these cars you would check off to make sure they're back in the yard. We did get these two cars put back. The Powder River Chugwater reefer, and then the bulkhead flat car. So we did get that done. But anyways, I like work orders for crews. They're pretty straightforward. They tell you where the cars go. Once you're done in JMRI, you just hit terminate, and then you build a new one. It's really easy to do. But then the only staging I have to do in between sessions is just to get the yard ready to make sure I've got the right cars, because sometimes different cars that are in these drawers. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, that's how a basic op session around here works. So thanks everyone who tuned in. Let me go through the questions real quick here again, just to see if we had anything else. Lee had a lot of stuff to say. Whoops, cancel. Um, sure, like Randy's Rock and Roll Railroad says he likes the Rock Island Switcher. Thanks. Yeah, I like that too. That's one I just finished recently. Let's see. Lee's gonna subscribe on Facebook. Thanks. And what is it? Okay. Yeah, Lee says he wants to hurry up with the switching layout so you can operate. Yeah, that's great. One thing I like about small switching layouts, and I'm really glad I cut the size of my layout down, is it's a lot easier to finish and work on things. So it's amazing what you can accomplish in a short amount of time with a smaller layout. So, alrighty. Well, given that, just want to say thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And like I said, I'll be running the full op session with a fresh crew tomorrow with the conductor and engineer here. So I'll try to post a little bit of a live YouTube and also do a Facebook live post so that you can see some of that and how it works. And I think it gets more interesting when it's just not me running it and it's other people. So I hope you'll enjoy that. Anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And I'll keep posting some operating videos and other things on here. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you all around. Now let's see how I figure out. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes, end. Okay, goodbye everybody.